Okay, welcome back to my second episode of my developer updates for my game called Frania United Forces. Um, I've actually started implementing a lot of the code and the plugins and stuff to the game now, so it's starting to look more like an actual game instead of just maps and textures. So what I'll do is I'll play through the game, and while playing through the game I'll talk about some of the stuff as to how I got there and what made me do that. So here we go, we'll start off with a new game. So one of the first things I've done now is I've actually made the game open up with an introduction, so it gives you a bit more story instead of just being like, boom, here you are in the world. So I'll read the dialogue out. This is Frania. Many years ago, Frania was invaded by an alien race, the Kra. So I had to come up with some kind of terminology for the monsters, like calling them monsters was just getting a little bit too bland, so I just came up with a random term called the Kra. The Kra is basically an alien race that's invaded Earth. War between mankind and the Kra has raged since that day. Mankind banded together and formed Frania United Forces, so to give the character a bit of an introduction to the Frania United Forces. Many died during the invasion, including your mother, so the character development there, your mum died in the invasion. Your father vowed to avenge your mother, leaving you behind with your gramps. So that was basically my first experience of actually importing my own pictures and stuff into the game, like stuff that I've edited and customized. So as you can see, they're very low texture, low poly, they don't look all that good, but it's more just how do I do it rather than can I do it well. Now I know how, the next step will be how do I do it better. So it's up just steps of progression. 14 years have passed since the invasion, this is where your story begins. And I made a smoother transition into where you can actually name your character. So by default it's called Datho. I'm just going to rename it to Deo because it's my name. And away we go. So then you start in the game here. So something that I tried, tried to teach myself was basically just put items in the game to like just hidden around the game to try and create a bit more life in the environment, make people want to explore the map. So at the start here, if you open up the chest, you find some cloth. Cloth's basically just your standard level of armor at the moment. Also got in the barrel here, potion. So that was more teaching me how to do it. Now that I knew how to do it, I didn't really put it anywhere else in the game, but at least now I know I can do it, and now when I write stuff and design maps, I can design maps around that knowledge and make maps with places where people can go and explore. From here we go and talk to Gramps. Good morning, today's the day you finally get your FUF invitation. I want you to be ready for your first day, so take these. And then I've made it so you can get the icons in the text now, so the sword and the shield. I've signed them both to allow you to charge the family account. Now head down the road to the inn. I bet Bella will be excited to see you. Quest obtained, sword and shield. So something I've implemented in the game now that wasn't in here before will be the quest log. So now when you get given a quest, you go to the quest log, have a look at what quest you have, what steps need to be done, what rewards you get for it, and just a bit more in-depth explanation about the quest a bit, just so I don't need to force people talking to you all the time. You can actually just go and check it, and there is more context instead of just having someone have to tell you every little detail. So that's something that I was quite happy that I've implemented. We go down the road here. Again, just testing the life, if I can add stuff to the thing, so your mother's grave's next to the house, in memory of Jane Doe, I haven't come up with a name for her yet. Date, forever loving mother, may you rest in peace. So just again, trying to find ways I can add more life to the game. So there'll be little things you better click on which give a bit of story. Just again, something I now know I can do, I can design maps and stuff around. In the shop I've changed it around just a little bit to make it look a bit more like a shop, like she actually has sword and shield, because before it was kind of just like a random building. It's still pretty much a random building just with swords and shields in it now, but hey, whatever. She says your name, there you are. I've been expecting you, please tell me you have your order forms. You give her the forms, that's what I wanted to hear. So she takes the items from you, and then she gives you your sword and shield. Update your quest that you've now got your sword and shield, and she then teaches you how to use it. So just like a basic tutorial how to equip stuff, so just quickly skip through all this. And then she transitions into the next quest. So now go see Macdon, he'll be in the graveyard, he'll teach you how to use them. And you have to learn the fight. So from there, reading all the dialogue there, she tells you how to equip stuff. So you go to your equip menu, and then you optimize, and now you've got all your gear on. So just to quickly show you, if you weren't to optimize, it's pretty basic, you just go in each weapon, and it shows what stat difference they give you. So as you can see, they all just give slight upgrades to a stat or another. That's all customizable. And then we're heading to the graveyard to see Macdon. So there's a few things here checking to like make sure that you've done all the prerequisite quests and stuff like that. So I had to make the dialogue say this if you've done everything, and if you haven't, he then says other dialogue that tells you go back and do it. So he's obviously now checked, do I have the quest obtain sword and shield completed? Yes, I do. And then he also checks, do I have the sword and shield equipped? Yes or no. If I have it equipped, he comments on me being crazy swinging it. If I don't, he tells me to go to my menu and re-equip it. So it's just to make sure people who don't have as much knowledge as me or some random person playing it, like the natural playthrough, it would actually double check and make sure they've done what needs to be done. Otherwise the game's going to be too difficult. So he just says, looks like never used sword before. Let me give you a quick rundown of the basics. So he runs down the battle system. So what attack does, what special means, what TP is, what magic will do. Explains why not everyone can use everything, how you die, how to get back, how to save. Just the basics of an RPG really. And then again, update your quest. And he tells you that there's more to fighting, that he just doesn't have the time to do it right now because there's work that needs to be done. Lately there's some giant rats have made their way down to the crypt. We need to go down and kill out the rats. So he gives you your first kill quest, so actually go to a hostile area and kill enemies. So this is where I had to learn how to actually code, how to track how many enemies you've killed, how to make sure it goes up at the right counter and stuff. This actually caused me a lot of trouble, but I think I'm on top of it now, so that's good news. Again, we go to the quest log and we can see here that all the previous quests that I've done, they're finished now, they're actually grayed out. And then my current quests, it says I still need to kill 5 rats and I'm at 0%. So I've added that feature now, so it tracks how many rats you've killed. So each rat you've killed, you can go through your quest log and check how many more rats do I need to kill. The battle system at the start here is very basic. You only have attack if you don't have anything else, so I'll quickly just rush through this. I haven't done much tweaking towards the stats of the enemies and the character and stuff yet. My default idea is it's supposed to take 2 hits to kill these guys, which is working, but as you can see they're not doing any damage to me because my character's leveling up a bit faster than I had anticipated. So here the random encounters are just, you gotta keep going till you kill 5 of them. And then I put a chest there just to try and encourage the player to walk in a direction rather than backwards and forwards, just to try and promote good gameplay. And then again, like I found that you get to the end and you still haven't killed 5, so this would be a good place for me to design stuff where, like, if you click on this you find a potion or something like that. So the chest gives you 5 potion, and then a rat. This is the 3rd rat. My character's a bit too tough at the moment. Hey, these are all just value fields that can be changed really easily, so I'm not too stressed about that. As you see there, like, you find a potion, I had to code it, so like every time you kill a rat, how much of a chance you have of finding what item, so you've got a 1 in 5 chance of finding a potion when killing a rat. And just rushing through the battle system here. So this is the only other place on the map that I've actually put like a secret item, like something that you can find by clicking on the world. So I'm going to make an NPC that says something about their partner had a statue on the crypts that had a special item on it. You go here, click on it, and you find Oxide Juice. Oxide Juice is basically just a stupid name for a revive potion or something along those lines. So if a character has fainted and has no life left, you put Oxide Juice on and brings them back to life. Pretty corny, but hey, that's ultimately what I was going for, making sure it fits the theme of the game without being too abstract. So Juice probably might change. I'm still not sure if I'm sold on it, but it works for me. Alright, so I think that's 5 rats, so let's just check the quest log. And yeah, indeed it is. Kill 5 rats at 100% now, so let's get out of here. Go back and talk to him, he tells you, yep, you've killed the 5 rats, you get the XP. Now you remind me of your father when he was a young boy, he was a gifted fighter too, you know. And then the main character says, to be honest, I don't know that much about him at all. So I'm trying to input that you don't really know too much about your father because he left young and you need to go try and find more. Like, that's the idea of the base idea at the beginning of the story, is go find out about your father. Like, what has he been doing all these years? And then, I'm sure he has his reasons. Let's focus on making you stronger, hold still, a little bit of animation to show you something's happening, and then you get yourself your first attack. So you learn how to learn the new skill, double attack. And then he teaches you how to use it, the resource cost required it, and then the next quest, Gramps is called and asks you to head home. Come back if you want to practice more. So, quest obtained, go home and see Grandpa. And as you see there, how he asks you to come back if you want to practice more, that's the call out to the very first side quest. So if you talk to him now, he actually says, if you'd like, go back down there and test your newfound skills. If you get another 5 of them suckers, I'll give you some gold for your help. So you get your first side quest, more rats. When you check your quest log, they're actually separated into hometown and side quest. And then it tracks it again that you need to kill 5 more rats. So what I'll do here is I'll go down and quickly kill 5 rats. I'll make a cut, and then I'll come back once I've killed the 5 rats. Alrighty, we're back. So I've just finished killing the 5 rats, so I open up my quest log, side quest, more rats, 100% now. So I've made it to level 5, go back and talk to him. Nice work, as promised, this is for you. Side quest complete, you get the gold now. There's more down there if you want to keep going, and more out of gold though, so you'll be working for free. So you can go down there and keep grinding if you just want to for the sake of it for whatever reason. Otherwise, you need to go back to your quests, where we have the quest return home, head home and see Grandpa. Complete the quest. All grown up now, I have something for you. I found this while sorting through some of your father's old things, so this introduces you to the oxide shards. I actually had to learn here how to implement the image next to the picture and stuff like that, so now I know how to add my own custom images. From learning how to add the custom images, I've now hit the struggle of, because I'm doing an old school RPG, all the images are textured to be a lot more pixels than what the old school pictures actually allow. So what I need to learn now is how to either A, draw my own, or B, how to actually scale down the images to a point where it's not just a blur, because 32 pixels and stuff, it's pretty tiny. So in these pictures here, I've got a lot more pixels, so you can see here the picture's a bit more defined and it works okay. But you'll notice later in the video, some of the monster textures or the new stuff I've added, it looks really small or really a bit yucky. So that's okay, because I was more, again, worrying about can I do it, not how well can I do it. So I've learned that yes I can, and again, just need to improve how better I do it next time. Oxide shards started appearing when the Kara did. Your dad must have found it during the invasion. Nas down the pond has more knowledge about them than I do, you should go speak to him. So the next quest, go learn about oxide shards. So check the quest log, it says go speak to Nas. So you get the idea of the quest log, so I'll pretty much stop bringing that up now, but that's pretty much fully functional now. It updates at every checkpoint, and there's a lot of work, so I'm glad I got that working. So we go to the house, near the pond, we speak to Nas, he again checks everything. Hey there kiddo, Gramps tells me you have something for me, to be exact, an oxide shard. I'm only one away from finishing this month's shipment, so you either A, give him the shard, or B, you don't. You give him the shard, that's what I'm talking about, thanks kiddo. In return for the shard, I'll give you a ring. My son makes these from the oxide that I send him, so this is where you get your oxide ring. Now, if you have that ring, all your physical attacks will do 20% more damage, and you'll be able to cast the spell Heal. Rings are a great way to gain an advantage over the Kara. However, these buffs come at a cost. The ring will reduce your magic attack by 50% and your magic defense by 25%. So I'm trying to make it that like you need to, like different people will wear different rings based on whatever your playstyle is, whatever you like better. So I'm trying to add a little bit of illusion of customization at the moment. So it's a bit of forward thinking, I'm going to see how it works. But so far the base idea is the rings give you modifiers. So as you see, this ring is obviously all about making your attack stronger and letting you heal, rather it lets you take more magic damage. So if you're versing something that doesn't do magic, this thing's great. You're versing a magic caster, it's probably not the best choice. As you see, your items infused with oxide result in some powerful modifications. Oxide have allowed humans to take the fight back to the Kara. This material appears to have come from the Kara's home planet. However, scientists have been able to break down the compound and teach myths how to work with a new power into weaponry. So again, like the dialogue, I'm not exactly sure that's how I want to keep it, but hey, it's progressing the story enough to keep me working, so I'm more just putting stuff there rather than worrying about what's there. It seems to act as a battery for the Kara powers. Without the oxide, they seem powerless. So that's kind of like the story of how we defeat them. Like we separate them from their power source, and then we can defeat them. We're still learning more about oxide every day, so that's more just me kind of saying that I'm making this shit up as I go. If I put something new that I haven't explained now, it's because we just discovered it. It's basically giving myself a cover up for a plot hole that I know I'm probably going to create at one point or another. And then, quest completed, get your shards. Now head on inside, Crota has been waiting for you. So in the last video you probably noticed that you had to go up the path here. I got a bit of feedback saying it was too difficult to find out the doors from the side, so I've moved that to the front now. So from releasing the first video to now, like it's actually been good getting feedback from what people are looking at it, what their thoughts are and all that, because it's amazing the stuff that I get stuck in my line of thought. Like I look at it and I'm like, yep, it works, and I never question it once again. But for someone else who their first question is, this doesn't work, they go down a whole different line of thinking. And if anyone has those, can you please post them in the comments, because like it's really good for me to actually approach it from a different perspective that I wouldn't have thought of, and it's very hard for me to think of something that I wouldn't have thought of. So I would very much appreciate that if anyone could leave comments on anything, even if it's negative and you're saying this is shit. At least I need to look at it and be like, why did he say this is shit? I just need to try and understand what is and isn't working. So then from here we go inside and we meet Crota. There you are. I've been waiting for you all day, I'm so excited. Have you seen Nas yet? So Nas is her father.
That's just a check to make sure that you've done all the prerequisite quests there. So I've got to make sure I leave dialogue cues in to allow the code to actually do its job, because it's kind of hard for the code to have no trigger. So right there I set that text that when that does, I trigger all the other commands that make sure you've done all the prerequisites to actually enable you to go on. Because there's nothing stopping the player from starting and just running straight past the inn and coming into this house. So I needed to make sure that if someone does that, they don't just skip the first request. So that's actually been a bit of a challenge, but because of the way the variables and stuff work and the freedom you have in controlling all the variables, like it's definitely manageable. But again, like that's something I never really thought of when thinking, I want to make a quest. When you think I want to make a quest, you start thinking of what's a cool quest, like how can I go do this, what should I make them do, yada yada. But you don't really stop and think, be like, well, how do I stop the player from actually activating this quest before I want them to? How do I make sure the player actually done this quest instead of run passing it? Like, how do I make sure that the player's at this step of the quest to make sure the next one actually appears, so before they trigger the quest they don't just see it sitting there randomly with no explanation? That's really what this game has been teaching me, and I'm learning so much from it. I'm loving that element of it. Anyway, back to the story. So again, it just says that I learned a new attack. She says that she learned a new attack. She can cast fireballs. That's again the kind of hint, like, look, I'm a mage. So she's getting really good at it. You'll be a mighty fine mage, as you will be a mighty fine soldier. So again, the text here is terrible, I know that, but I'm trying to make sure I can show people that these two people have a good relationship. They talk to each other back and forth. It's not just a second narrator. I want it to be a character-driven story kind of thing. So she's the one that actually pushes all the emotion to the player, but it's all the main character who's having these feelings. She just kind of shines a light on it and say, oh look, he's sad right now. And she joins the party, so I had to make sure she leaves, again, chat triggers, so I had to make sure she leaves the screen, and once she joins the party, she now reappears the screen behind me and will follow me now. So now we have a party member. She gives you your FUF invitation, again another trigger to make sure you've done all the requisites to go do the next quest, and she tells you what it says because she's already opened it because she's very eager. And she also, another trigger, don't forget to put that ring on that my dad gave you, because as you see, you kind of play the game, and I've noticed that people go through it. And even when you get given an item, your first thought isn't, I better stop playing the game and equip it. So putting chat triggers, like Q commands, there's friendly reminders. I'm trying to make it a better player experience. So I go equipped, put my ring back on. Now that I have the ring, you'll see that I have the magic spell heal. But if I go equip and take this ring off, I clear. Still. There we go. Now if I go skill, my character, there's no magic and there's no heal, so that's a bonus of wearing the ring. So as explained by Nas, I kind of think you're all following along here, but I really want to make it across because that was difficult to code, making it so the player learns it when it's equipped and unlearns it when it's taken off. So let's put the ring back on now to make sure I can heal up. So if you really wanted to, you could put it on the mage here, because her ring actually, what is it? It's a gold-plated ring, it just gives you plus 20 magic attack. It's a very stock standard ring. I put that ring on her, sorry. I probably should cut this from the video, but for some reason there I've just noticed I have 2 oxide rings. That's not right, I'm only supposed to have 1. So I'll go back and fix that later. Anyway, welcome to testing. So as Crota told us, we need to go to the castle, so let's get back to the game. So again, from the feedback from the last video, I was told it's difficult to tell where you actually enter from the castle. So I've tried to make it a bit more clear by the barricades and thing here. A little bit of feedback, let me know what you think. Is it a bit more clear now? And then the castle here. I made it so all the characters talk to you again. And then I put a couple extra here which don't let you pass. And they say, we have captured one of the crafts, stay back, it's dangerous to leave it in a cage. No visitors, step back. So I've made it so you can't see the monster there, but if you go up by the side here, you better see it. And that's my new custom image. So this is where I've learnt that if I start from real high res image, I'm gonna have a bad time. So I'm gonna need to make sure that when I first design the monster, the face and all the stuff, I don't just go and copy paste a picture from Google which is high res, which is exactly what I've done here. I need to actually make my own, followed by the right standards, so when I'm done, the finished product actually fits and looks a bit better. But that's the whole point of learning. So here, we go up and we speak to Captain Folly. We've got a couple of guards here, the guy that tells you a bit about your dad, and then the guy that just says, I'm watching you, paranoid old man. We talk to Captain Foley here, and there's a lot of chat triggers that are checking that you've done all the previous quests, that you've got all the right items and stuff, so obviously it's all work now, so that's gravy. I won't go through and show you what happens when it doesn't. Anyone who's interested, I can delve deeper into that stuff, but it's more of the same stuff, just saying go back and do this. So attention, all recruits must present their Far invitation and all townsfolk step aside. So this is where, I'll just show you, if you step aside, it ends, and we go back, and he repeats the same process until you give them the invitation. When you click this, again, all the code's checking, does the player have the item, has the player finished the previous quest, all says yes, gives you the quest complete. And then we progress forward. Ah yes, Deo and Crota, I've been expecting you. I remember the day your father enlisted. I'm sorry about your mother. So again, just more trying to emphasize, your mum died. It's pretty clear, but trying to get across. I will avenge her death. You must control your emotions. You must control your emotions in battle. Make sure you focus on the enemy in front of you, not the ones inside of you. So as again, just trying to delve that like people are aware that he's got mummy and daddy issues. Understood. So something that you just seen there, I had to learn how to code how to stop the game, freeze the game, allow that character to spawn, run up, talk to you, and he's like, sir, the crow are outside of the town. How many? Scouts report just the one. They say it went in the cave southwest of hometown. Just the one. Interesting. Dismissed soldier. Good work. Thank you, sir. And then I've had to make it so the character then runs back down and leaves the map. So, and then he asks you, what do you say? Do you want to go get your first kill? We're ready. Crow in the caves. Excellent. So this is your first like boss fight. Like actually go track down a monster and kill the monster. And he teaches you about the mechanic of how to get your health back. Because in any RPG, every time you click like a save icon or you sleep or something like that, you get your health and you mount it back. So I've implemented the exact same thing in this game. Before you leave, you should rest. When you go to a bed, if you sleep, you get all your HP and mana back. It tells you to do that instead of toughing it out with potions and stuff. So just to show you how that works, I've obviously put beds in here. Every time you see a bed in the game, you can go up and you click on it, and it says, would you like to rest, yes or no? You say no, nothing happens. Oh, whoops, sorry. You see here, I've lost health. You say yes, screen fades to black, plays a little sleepy music, comes back, health's all back. Now, we're ready to go hunt down the Kara, the aliens who killed our mother. It sounds so cheesy, I love it. Go out, we head south, southwest, had to stop and think of that for a second. And now here, you'll see in the quest log, this is actually the first quest that I've made that has multiple steps. So when you go into it now, when you finish this step, it actually creates another step instead of creating another quest. Because as you see here, 8 quests, I don't want to make it come way too long and just fill up the page. So every quest before this one has all been single step. So this is the first one where, when you actually find the cave, you go inside, Crota's like, oh, this must be the cave the scout mentioned. So now that she's said that, go quest log, main quest, and you've now got explore the cave and find the Kra. The good thing about this is I've coded it in a way that now that she's said it once, she won't say it again. She'll only ever say that once and progress the quest once. We explore the cave. I need to make this a hostile zone where enemies spawn. I've just yet to actually program that. Again, there's another trigger here, excuse me. Crota will say, can you smell that? We must be getting close. So now that she said that, you go quest log, and it's progressed the quest even more now. Now we need to defeat the Kra. Go down a bit further. My last video I was told the boss room wasn't really big enough, so I've tried to make the boss room a bit bigger, but in the whole things of making my custom images, like he just looks pathetic. Look at how, like, that's not intimidating, it's like a little blur on your screen, but hey, whatever. You go up and you click on him, he growls at you a bit, and Crota says, get ready, here it comes. Here comes your first boss fight. So, excuse me. Something that I've noticed wrong here as well, for some reason, the background of this fight still says Crota like she's talking, so I'll fix that later. And I'll actually go through this fight and show you all the attacks and stuff. So right now, I have magic, which is heal, get my health back, special, double attack, which I can't use, I don't have enough DP, and then the other basics. So let's attack this guy. Crota has magic twice for some reason. I need to fix that. Oh, the reason Crota has magic twice right now is because I gave her the Oxide Ring. When I give someone the Oxide Ring, they learn how to cast magic. So I didn't actually intend for you to give that Oxide Ring to somebody who already knows how to cast magic, so this is something I need to make a check. If the player doesn't learn magic, teach magic. If already learn magic, teach skill. So again, like this coding mistakes, this is how we trial and error, away we go. But she still has Fireball and Heal in both magic slots. Oh, they hit very hard just then. There we go, that's a bit better. Not quite sure why I done so much damage, but okay. Double attack. And throw another fireball at him. The fireball's not done too much, but the double attack's wrecking him. So I've programmed this monster in such a way that every attack he'll use slash, which is basically just attack, but I've made it slash so it's different. And then when he's 50% or lower HP, he has 2000 HP, so when he's 1000 or lower, he has like a weighted chance to cast Flame Breath. Flame Breath is a powerful magic attack that hits both of them for fire damage. I've programmed it so the flame damage, the spell costs mana, and the monster only has enough mana to cast it twice. He can only ever cast it twice, but he's going to wreck your party when he does it, so you'll learn that the hard way. It's special, I can't use double attack, don't have enough TP here. Just attack, and now because Crota's not doing as much damage, I get her to cast heal. If you cast heal, you get your health back. Oh, Crota missed. There you go, there's the flame breath, so it just hit for 200 damage pretty much to both of them. So that's not too bad in the damage scaling, I'm happy with that is. I just kind of need to fix the amount of damage that this character does here. So seeing that that wasn't so devastating, I might also make it so that the enemy can cast that spell more than twice, but for now, he'll only ever cast it twice. Oh, he's just cast it again, so that's a % chance, so it can happen twice in a row. Oh, Crota actually hits a lot harder with a staff than she does magic. That's not right. Fix that. Again, the joys of coding issues. So, every attack has a 5% chance to miss, and characters have missed 3 times in a row, so I'm starting to question 5%. That's strange, but anyway. Crota's feeling a bit of pain, we'll get her to heal up. I'm liking the length of this battle. That was a fair length. That's a fair fight. Like, it's kind of, it wasn't huge, but it was definitely bigger than a rat. Need me to actually play a little bit towards the elements, use my spells to heal myself, so it wasn't too bad. Just need to tweak his damage. Like, Crota should not hit harder with a stick than she does with a fireball. That's just fundamentally wrong. But anyway, I'll fix that later. Then once you've done this, you get your potion, you get a shard. Characters level up because you got XP. Main character seems to be a bit cocky, and then progress the quest again. Let's head back to Captain Foddy. Go to your quest log, main quest. It's progressed in such a way where you need to now report back to the captain. So once you make your way back to the captain, that's pretty much the end of where I've coded here. Oh, I've made a mistake there where that's going to trigger every time. So you see that how I mentioned the trigger in the first one to check if she's already said it, don't say it again. I haven't put that in the second one, so she's just going to keep saying it every time we walk past it. So I'm going to have to go back and fix that. Then we head back into town. And that's basically the end of the story progression of the first town. Oh, this guy's also running down and deleting himself. That's not correct. I need to make a check that if he's already done all that, don't do that shit again, because that's a bit silly. And then we go back up and seek the Captain Foddy. He does all the prerequisites, make sure you've killed the monster, done all the steps and such. What about the Kara? Let's just say they won't bother us anymore. Impressive, you'll make a fine soldier, here's your sigil. So again, this is basically the item that I'm using that do you have this item, you can start the next quest line if you have this item. So it's like the congratulations, you finished the hometown storyline. I'm going to make the character promote through the ranks for each town that he helps with, and then make each town just have a different number of quests or reasons or rhymes of how he gets it. And then he just tells you that a little bit of story reason to why you have it, even though I've just told you like the coding reason to why he has it. So it's just kind of making it so it belongs in the game. Something along those levels has to be in there, otherwise it's very difficult to code. And then it's just, again, the story reason it's your duty to protect other people. Be sure to report to the castle of every town you visit. It's not only common folk who require your help. So that's basically going to be the start of every quest line, unless I vary it some way or another. You need to report to the castle, he tells you to go start the quest chain, boom, everything starts. And that's actually my first time playing it all start to finishing, so now you know that I end the campaign at level 7. It'll be a good idea to start coding the next town for a player who starts around level 6. Basically just because, well that's again a decision I need to make, that when I finish the level to when an average player finishes the level to when the next level should start. Because I have a lot more experience about it, it's going to be a lot easier for me to pick up all the extra stuff, as if a player takes longer, kills more enemies, they'll do more of a grind, so I'm going to have to try and find a healthy balance there. But that's about it for the first town. Now that I've done all the story and all that, I need to go back and add the two side quests that I've written. So one will be go find the Twig of Truth, another one's just give someone a potion. So just little things but more life, and then obviously go back through and add some more NPCs. So that's what I've been working on. If anyone's interested in anything, have any comments, any feedback, please drop it below. Yeah, it's been about 2-3 weeks in the making now, so it's still very early in the project, but I'm amazed at the progress. It's coming up really well. I know compared to other games, it's not the best, but compared to what I've done in the past, it's leaps and bounds beyond, so I'm moving forward in the right direction. Thank you very much for watching.